quilting friends, welcome back to Quilting Your Legacy, Stitching Life Together. Today we are going to play with brand new $2 digital patterns from Villa Rosa. These are brand new patterns that are exclusively for the month of April. Let's go ahead and get the sewing machine right out of the way so that we have space to play with our pattern. In this video, we are going to not only just look at each of the pattern very quickly, I'm also going to let you know what the name is of the pattern, what the size of the quilt or tabletopper it is, in addition to any other detailed information that you must know before you purchase your, yet again, $2 digital patterns. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, so first we have Butterfield. Now, Butterfield is going to be measuring at 42 inches by 64 inches. This quilt is using only fat quarters. So all you need is 10 different fat quarters and you've got this amazing quilt. You will be making half square triangles to complete that really cool design, zipping all around the quilt. Butterfield is a lovely breezy quilt that is built entirely around half square triangles. And yet again, all you need is 10 different fat quarters to make this quilt. And then you're going to need a half of a yard for your binding. This quilt is going to be absolutely brilliant for a confident to beginner quilter, because by the end of this quilt, you will definitely be mastering how to make half square triangles. It's modern, but yet it has a really fun, playful softness to it. So if you need to make a quilt for somebody who loves, let's just say, the color purples or greens, here is your quilt that'll go together in that one or two different color ways. I really suggest playing around with that contrasting where you've got the light to the dark. That way it's just going to pair with your half square triangles absolutely brilliantly. Anything is going to make this pattern absolutely amazing. Up next is Havenwood. Now Havenwood is going to be measuring at 56 inches by 64 inches, and you are going to need one pack of 2.5 inch strips. Now for those 2.5 inch strips, typically a pack is going to be about 40. To make this exact quilt, you are going to need 40 2.5 inch strips, or you could use 3 yards in total of 2.5 inch strips. So if you have some 2.5 inch strips, you're not quite sure what to do with, and as long as you've got 3 yards worth, you could make this quilt. And then you are going to need 1.125 of a yard cut for the background color fabric, and that is the white that you see in the picture. And you are literally going to be sewing random 2.5 inch strips together and then having that really cool accent fabric to be able to pull the entire quilt together. So this is going to be such a great quilt. Again, if you have that pack of 2.5 inch strips, you're not exactly sure what to make with it, here is your quilt, because you could even use ombre fabrics, Valley and batik fabrics, or even rainbow color fabrics with this pattern. And then when you use a nice bright white for your accent, for like that background color fabric, it'll really help make all of your fabric pieces absolutely pop. Up next is Cadott. Now, Cadott is going to be measuring at 54 inches by 63 inches. And brace yourself, yet again, we are going to be making half square triangles. In addition to, there are some squares mixed in. This is going to be so stinking cute, especially using their exact colorway. And I love the idea of using Bali fabrics. So you are going to need 8 different fabrics, all ranges in many different sizes. So this is giving a color chart. So for purple, you're going to need a half of a yard. For the dark purple, you're going to need a third of the yard. For the white color, which is going to be that background color fabric, the main fabric that you see, you are going to need 2 3/8 of a yard cut. For the light blue, 5/8, and yada yada yada. So there are going to be 8 different fabrics to make this quilt, and on the website it'll have exactly what yardage you need. But again, 8 different fabrics, all different cuts of fabrics, so you could use some of your stash if you wanted to. And then again, you are going to need 2 3/8, which is going to be your background color fabric. Aren't these colors unbelievably gorgeous? Now, again, Cadott is going to be ranging in purples, blues, teals, and greens, while having that backdrop of that nice white crisp color. This is going to be such a great stash buster. If you've got a full basket full of fat 8s, this could be a really fun quilt, especially if you have that really fun design wall to be able to put each of your blocks right on it. I really love how this quilt is giving you that play of light into dark fabrics with the different color tones mixed in. Absolutely love it. And you could even make it into the warm fall color tones. So using the gold and the browns and the autumn color fabrics, that could be really great with this as well. Or go in the complete opposite direction, use some winter color fabrics. Using the blues with the dark navy blues, literally the sky is the limit when it comes to this amazing palette of different colors. Up next is Dakota. Now Dakota is going to be measuring at 36 inches by 45 inches. So this is going to be a really great baby size quilt, and you are only going to need 6 different fat quarters. Yes, you heard me right. 6 different fat quarters, a half a yard for your binding. Bada bing, bada boom, you've got a quilt. And again, this is going to be fast and easy quilt. Just to make something quickly on the whim, here is your pattern, because like I said, all you need is 6 different fat quarters and you've got yourself a quilt top. What I love about this clean but yet modern look is that it can adapt to any colorway that you possibly want. You could bring in novelty prints, you could bring in floral prints, you could even use flannels with this particular quilt. And I love the idea of using Minky for your backing on this particular project. My goodness gracious, you could even use Christmas fabrics for that baby that's getting ready to come for the winter season. Literally the sky's the limit. And what about Halloween fabrics with this as well? 6 different fabrics, you've got yourself a baby or toddler size quilt. Up next is Turtle Soup. This is going to be measuring at 49 inches by 61 inches. I love the idea of this quilt because I think you could use border fabric. You know how sometimes in our fabric stash, in the particular color collection colorway, they come with border fabrics? Well, here is your quilt to use with any border fabric. That border fabric is going to be 10-inch strip zipping all the way down. So go ahead and measure out your fabric. Now you are going to need 1.25 yards or 1 yard for that border striped fabric. Then you are going to need 1 yard of the ombre tonal or even print fabric. That's that gray color zipping right across. And then you're going to need your contrasting fabric. It's going to be 3/8 of a yard cut in addition to your background fabric, which is going to be 3/8 of a yard cut as well. And don't be afraid to fussy cut out that border fabric, because which is that main fabric there, because once you have your main fabric, there are no borders on the side. So it's literally the length of your border fabric. Again, nothing on the side. And then you're going to be creating those flying geese right on the side as well. So again, go through your stash. If you have border fabric, that's either 1 yard or 1.25 yards. Here is your quilt right here. I've got a few that I'm going to show you just because I think this could be a really adorable quilt with one of my fabrics in my stash that I haven't exactly sold yet, nor do I know what the heck to do with it. Here is our quilt to be able to finally use the border fabric. And then you'll notice that there's a few different accent flying geese zipping around just to kind of give the quilt some fun movement. Up next is window boxes. Now, window boxes is our token table topper. And if you love table toppers, you should definitely be joining us in the Quilting Your Legacy Table Topper Club, where we meet every single month and we sew together step by step. But for this particular table topper, it is measuring at 22 inches by 50 inches. You are going to need 3 different fat quarters, or you're going to need a panel that measures 12.5 inches. And those are going to be your 3 central panels. And then you're going to need your background fabric. Now, the background fabric is going to be 1/2 yard. And then the border that you see along the sides, that is also going to be 1/2 yard. I was having fun looking at this one, and how fun to turn this into like a snow globe where you could maybe use Christmas fabric for those 3 different blocks there. In addition to, you could use this particular table topper using one of those panels that you have laying around. Like I said, the block is going to be measuring at 12.5 inches. And this could be a really fun one to use up some spring color fabrics or even some floral fabrics, like a large floral print, especially because we've got Mother's Day coming up. So I'd love to know, what is the one pattern in this video that you would like to make first? I have a toss-up between Cadott, mostly because I love their color choices and I know we would have so much fun sewing it, but also Turtle Soup. I would love to make Turtle Soup only because I have a border print fabric in my quilting studio that it's just waiting for its moment to turn into a quilt. And with Turtle Soup, I think we've got the answer. But please let me know in the comments which quilting pattern would you like first. So there you have it. That is the roundup for the April's brand new Villa Rosa patterns, each $2 right on our website. They are digitally downloaded, or I will be more than happy to snail mail you them. You can grab all 6 right on my website. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, hit that subscribe button, comment so that you never miss out on another episode. And again, please let me know which of these patterns is your favorite. What would you like to sew next together? Thanks for stitching a little piece of the day with me. Until next time, remember, stitch with heart, not perfection. I will see you in the next quilting video. Bye for now.